Hello everyone, this is the third part of our video series where we play in GTO-based trainer against an unbeatable solver. If you haven't seen parts 1 and 2, you know what to do, check them out and enjoy. Ace King, based on what we have seen previously, I think we want to bet big here. Even b80 probably would not be a mistake, although we block some of his floats, hands like King Jack of diamonds, King 10 of diamonds. Eugen asks for how long GTOBase will be free. Well, actually I don't know, I'm not into marketing, but probably not for long. Well, I assume it won't be free for long, but anyways, for now it is free, so use it, enjoy it. And here, yeah, I think I would bet a little smaller because we block his backdoor flush draws. So yeah, let's go with option number 4. Well, yeah, as I said, we can use pretty much any sizing here. We can bet bigger, we can bet smaller. The EV is the same. But we do not overbet here. Not as much. One more little detail I wanted to check here. If we want to bet big when we do not block those backdoor flush draw combos. We want this pink sizing. Okay, let's see. King of diamonds. King of spades, King of clubs. Well, I actually don't see any patterns. Yeah, no actual relation between sizings and suits. The only thing I can see is that we don't want to bet big when we block actual flush draw, but backdoor flush draw doesn't really matter. Okay. 1058, you think, well, I think I would agree. 15 is a bit too much. Yeah, I would agree, 15 is a bit too much. If you were like 50 BBs deep, then maybe, but with this SPR, 10 looks really nice. No, he actually prefers pot betting here. Anyways, I don't think it matters that much in practice. But solver does not agree with us at all. Well, probably he just wants to get maximum value from all of those ace-x combos that our opponent simply cannot fold. Pretty wet board, a lot of draws, a lot of potential bluffs, so yeah, he just can't fold ace-x hands. Yeah, this is what he probably tries to do, a lot of bluff catchers there, hence he cannot fold. So if we bet bigger, we just get more value. Okay, let's see what happens if we actually bet pot. So we bet pot. And what happens to his ace-x combos? Oh, well, he doesn't call all of them, okay. Ace-jack, ace-10, he folds against a pot bet. But then again, we get max value from his flush draws, hands like king-queen of hearts, king-jack of hearts, king-10 of hearts. King 8 of hearts, probably this part of his range is actually more important. The fact that we make hands like King 8 of hearts basically indifferent. Also hands like 7-6 of hearts. And of course he will call more against b66, I don't think he would ever fold ace-x. Oh, he actually does fold ace-jack and ace-10 sometimes. Doesn't seem likely for human players folding ace-jack, ace-10 on pretty much quite safe board. But solver knows that against a big bet on the flop and then against a big one as well on the turn, we do not fare this good. He won't probably bet hands worse than this. Well, let's take a look at his betting range, like for example top pairs, right? He doesn't bet anything worse than ace-10. So no wonder that ace-10 for us is basically a bluff catcher now. And of course there are some bluffs out there. Mango in chat says that I do not consider a human factor. Well, no, I do actually. I say that against human we play differently. I really hope you do not think that I play like this against my actual opponents at the table. And I always mention we play like this against solver and we play like this against a human. Well, it is kinda obvious, of course, but I think I should mention it one more time. Another one asks in chat if the program considers action on previous streets. Well, of course. We see a solution for a certain spot when we bet 2/3 on the flop. Well, how else could it be, right? We see a certain node and we see a solution for this node. We have this big game tree with a lot of branches, and for every branch, for every node, we have different frequencies. If we, for example, bet small on the flop, we have a totally different scenario than when we bet big on the flop. Ace Queen of Clubs. I have no idea actually. Well, kind of a good hand to barrel, right? We do not block any of his backdoor flush draws, which he would fold a lot on the following streets. So yeah, with this in mind, I think betting is fine. Sizing wise, again, I have no idea actually. Probably something small, considering we basically have no backdoor potential. And we also want to keep his range wider. We want to keep all those backdoor flush draws we can fold out later. So yeah, let's go small. Okay, yeah, this is a viable option. We can check, we can bet half pot, and we can rarely bet 2/3. Alright, what next? On one hand, we block King-Queen. On the other hand, I don't know if we want to bluff such a strong hand. On 4 of diamonds, we beat hands like Ace-Jack, Ace-10, Ace-9, Ace-6 of spades, of hearts. So what's the point in betting? We never fold out 6s, 5s, pair with a gut shot. He never folds 9s. We have the strongest non-pair hand. Yeah, looks like a check. Okay, someone in chat asks me to show how to build game trees in GTOBase and so on. I will not do it right now because it takes a lot of time. But I will put a link here to my video instruction. It's a video where I show how to work with GTOBase, how to create game trees, all the features. Pretty informative video all in all. And if you have some questions left, you can ask in the comments. Or you can ask in a Discord channel or in Telegram. And here I think we should check. Okay, it's a pure check, and yeah, I think solver uses the same reasoning I just described. And not a close check either, right? Like in those previous examples where it was quite close. So yeah, it's a clear check, and against this sizing, well, yeah, we have a fine bluff catcher, but this is too big. We beat Jack-10, we beat 10-9. And by the way, here I think it actually becomes important that we block his king-queen combos. It is his strongest king after all, and maybe because of that we actually want to call. Okay, we don't have to pay any real money here, so let's click call. It is a mistake, it is a pure fold. It is a minus EV call, and someone asks in chat, can we replay this spot? Yes, we can. We can click here, replay hand, or we can just click R on our keyboard. And we get back to start. We can also select a different branch, a different node, like bet call, could be check. Now I wonder what is the weakest hand we call here against this sizing. Probably queens, right? Queens is actually a good hand to call because we block his king-queens even more. Okay, check, bet, fold. Let's see. And against the pot bet, yeah, queens is actually a good call, as we see. Jacks, not so much. Maybe he doesn't bet king-jack like this as often. What else? 6s, 5s, yeah, pair plus gutshot, I can get behind that. A little bit of 5-4 suited again, pair plus gutshot. 7x of diamonds, pair plus flush draw. Second pair is 10-8, well 10-8, I know, I do realize it is a break-even call, but I would never call hand like this in the real game. even against a strong player since we block his main bluffs, Jack 10, 10, 9. Ace 8, well yeah, Ace 8 is a fine call I think. We do not block his draws, open-enders, straight draws, but we block his sets. By the way, does he ever bet a set this big? Well yeah, he does actually. So Ace 8 is a decent call. Okay, guy in chat asks how will check raise on flop look like. Well, let's see. So we check. He bets and we check raise flop, right? Or you want to take a look at our check raise in range? Okay, let's take a look at ranges. You wanted to guess. You guess we raise 8.5. Well, let's try. It is an option, as we see, but solver says, still says it is a mistake. Why so? I see. We only raise 1% of the time, like this. And the threshold for a mistake is like 2%. So whenever we choose an action that is actually used below this threshold, we see it as a mistake. This is how this program works. But the EV difference is very small, so we can check raise this hand. And what is our check raise in range overall? What do we check raise? We check raise some overpairs, we check raise some 2-pair combos, top pairs with a strong kicker, under pairs rarely, and now 2 bluffs. Yeah, very intuitive bluffs, Jack 10, Jack 9, 10, 9, gut shots, 6, 5, 5, 4. Ace high combos, a little bit of ace queen, a little bit of ace jack, ace 10. Since we block hands like king queen, king jack, ace 6 with backdoor flush draw, 3 to a straight, 3 to a flush, ace 5, ace 4, same logic. Ace 3 of clubs, definitely a call. No other options, so 100% call. Yeah, solver agrees, no other options, a pure call. And on turn I think it's quite simple, we just want to bet for value. In terms of sizing, yeah, we kinda want to bet bigger since his range is kinda capped. Guy in chat suggests checking. I don't know, I want to bet here all the time. Too many cards we don't want to see on the river, like Jack or 10 of spades. So yeah, I would always bet something like this probably. Oh man, you're good, you were right. It is actually almost always check. We can bet sometimes, but not too often. But then again, I think my not strategy per se, my idea of betting would actually work quite good against a human player. Because human players are definitely check raising not as often. And there's no difference in EVs. Pocket 5s, wow, pot bet from our opponent. We were not ready for this, you know, but I think it's a call. We have 2 backdoors. Guy in chat says about the previous hand that we should pot bet maybe, because our opponent will call all the strong ace-x combos against a third. Well, I don't know, we want to get some value, right? So I want to bet smaller. And another guy in chat says that we should fold 5s here on the flop, and I agree, we should fold against a human, because humans will not fill their ranges with enough bluffs in spots like this. But against a solver, it is a plus EV call. Not as profitable as we see, even against a solver we gain not as much, right? So against a human it is a fold, definitely. And on turn, come on man, what are you doing? We have such a nice hand and you give us such bad pot odds. What do we do now? We'll still probably have to call it in solver land. What if we shove, or is it too much? Well, we are in position, shove doesn't make much sense. Yeah, unpleasant situation. But still, I think we should call. You think we should shove or fold? Since we are in position, I do not think shoving make too much sense. But okay, I choose call, you choose all in, let's see who's right. Yeah, it is a pure call, as we see. Shoving is also fine, it is plus EV, but still way less profitable than calling. half a blind difference in EV, it is a lot. And finally on river, very interesting, can we actually call this? On positive side, we block hands like ace-5 suited, if it is at all relevant. Well, of course, in the real game you just fold it and move on, but in solver land it is possibly a call. Against a very aggressive regular, we can also call this one, but what calling qualities does our hand have? Does he have any bluffs with 5, 5-7? Oh, 5-7 is a straight, sorry. What else? King 5 suited. Yeah, King 5 suited is possible, and it is not that good that we block 5s. He won't necessarily pot bet hands like ace 5 on turn, but he can definitely pot bet King 5 suited on turn, so I think it's a fold. And still it's 50-50, calling and folding. And he actually played ace 3 like that. Alright, let's see what hands he uses as a bluff on river. He definitely plays King 5 like that, but he also plays ace 5 like that. So we block both his bluffs and his value bets. But we don't block other bluffs like King Queen, Queen 10, Queen 9, Queen 8. So yeah, kinda ambiguous blockers we have here. Guy in chat says that this is why we should shove or fold on turn. Do not have difficult decisions on river. From human point of view, yes. From solver point of view, not so sure. Oh, because he's following through with his bluff on any overcard. Well, this is both bad and good for us. Let's take different overcard on the river. Not ace, but like king, for example. Against an aggressive regular, we can actually call our 5s, because he will continue bluffing with all of his crappy hands on ace, king or queen. But if you shove, we fold out all of his bluffs. Okay, thanks everyone for staying with me after this session, but I hope it was helpful and useful for you as well. To dive a little bit in the tough and unfathomable solver land. To touch slightly knowledge of God, so to say.